Today is a much better day. As you can probably tell, I'm in a lot better spirit, a lot better mood than my last two videos. And it's all a part of the journey, you know. But this video is about why you shouldn't go on a spiritual journey, why you shouldn't wake up. Because people sometimes romanticize or kind of look through a rose-colored lens when they think about spiritual journeys. They don't realize that a journey is not about the destination. It's about the process and how you adapt and change and flow through the everyday, right? So, you know, when you do decide to wake up or find your life purpose and really be about, you know, your spiritual life, you start to realize that it's not all peaches and cream. It's not all rainbows and sunshine. It's a lot of hard times. It's a lot of dark times. It's a lot of happy times. It's a lot of changes. And it's a lot of you releasing and breathing. Okay? So it wasn't but like a week ago where I felt like I was drowning. And a week later, after really consulting and meditating every day and talking to my spirit guides and my ancestors and asking them to show up and give me signs that you're here with me going through this and that there's a reason that certain things are happening in my life, and I start to see evidence. Well, I've always seen evidence that they were there, but this week in particular, I saw evidence that they're there like every day. You know, and it just makes me feel a lot better. Even through the hard times, you know that you're not alone. And you know that you're going through something for a bigger reason. You guys, this is why you should not go on a spiritual journey. Reason number one, everything will start to irritate you. And when I say everything, I mean everything and everybody. You start to pick up on little cues and little things. You like zoom in on the smallest thing. You're like, oh, this ain't it. For example, you may be at work having a conversation and someone may say the most outlandish thing. And it may resonate with your old past self, where you probably would not have picked up on what they said, but now since you're so in tune with, okay, I gotta keep positive things around me, I gotta keep, you know, my environment pretty as peaceful as I possibly can. You know, you don't want to absorb a lot of negative energy. But as soon as someone says something like, for example, oh, okay, here's something negative or low vibrating. Someone says something like, oh, I hate my life. You may not have thought about that a year or two ago as something that triggered you. But now, since you're on a spiritual journey, you know that if someone says something like that, all these alarms in your mind start going off, because you're like, oh my gosh, they just affirmed in their life that they hate it, and now a bunch of bad things is going to happen to them. They don't even know what they're saying. It's a terrible thing to say about themselves. You don't know, they don't know how powerful the words that they speak out of their mouths is. So yeah, that's just one small example, but a lot of things are going to start irritating you. Just a lot of low vibrating things. You're not going to be able to really go into crowded places because you're going to start absorbing energies, and you're going to start looking at things for what they truly are. Like, for example, you may go to a party and you're on your spiritual journey and you leave that party and you start to feel down. But since you're so in tune with yourself now, because you've been meditating and you've been praying and you've been being one with yourself, you know, you've been getting grounded by nature. You know what it feels like to be grounded. That when you're not grounded and you do feel triggered, when you leave an environment where there's a lot of people and a lot of low vibrating energies, and you start to feel that and internalize it, you start to actually pay attention to how you feel, and it bothers you. That's another example why you shouldn't go on a spiritual journey. Like, if you love going to clubs and parties and around a lot of people that are talking about nonsense, gossiping, stuff that really don't matter in the grand scheme of things, you're going to get irritated and people are going to bother you. Things in certain situations going to bother you like they've never bothered you before. Another reason why you shouldn't go on a spiritual journey, you're going to not want to eat certain things. So yeah, you know, candy is good sometimes, you know, cookies, donuts, things like that is good sometimes. You feel like, you know, in moderation, whatever. But there's going to be something in you when you start your spiritual journey that is going to want to purify, detox, and cleanse. Like, you're going to be on that kick, that feeling almost daily. You're going to be feeling like, you know, someone's going to disgust you to eat meat. It's going to really make you feel some type of way. You're going to, because when you're on a spiritual journey, you start having more compassion for people in certain situations in the environment, just in life general, right? So you're not going to really be interested in anything that causes harm or destruction to animals, people, the planet. You're just going to have a way bigger appreciation for life in general. So for that alone, you're not going to crave meat as much. You're going to want to, you're purifying your mind. You know, you're practicing mindfulness, you're meditating, you're doing whatever. So you're like purifying your mind. With that, you're going to in turn want to purify your body. So you're going to eat cleaner. You're going to have more food that's going to nourish and feed your cells and hydrate you, because you know your body is made up mostly water, so you're going to want to drink water more. So if you're not ready to let go of sugar and anything that's going to harm your body, don't go on a spiritual journey. What else? I mean, I gave you like 3 examples, but there's plenty more. There's plenty more examples that I'm sure I can think of. Another one. Don't go on a spiritual journey if you love sports, because you're going to look at sports like, what a waste of time and energy. Like, you know how much money and energy is built up? Like, think about everyone in a crowd cheering for one team. You know how much energy is in that stadium? Sorry, my husband called me. But yeah, the energy that's built up in that stadium, you cannot pay me to make me believe that they don't use, the people, the higher ups, don't use that energy. I don't know if y'all ready for this, but I know that energy is used in witchcraft. I know that they're using that energy. Y'all ain't ready for that. Y'all not ready for that conversation. But anyway, everything is energy. And when you start to protect your energy, you'll start to realize way more clearly what is bringing you down. So don't go on a spiritual journey if you love sports, if you love to party and drink and gossip and eat trash all the time. You know, if you think your job is the absolute best thing in the world, if you love working for other people, don't go on a spiritual journey, because your whole perspective on life is going to change. Your whole perspective on your current situation is going to change. How you see the world is going to change. But it's going to be so much more worth it. You're going to learn so much about yourself. You're going to become so enlightened, but also light. We're going to talk about all of this on my channel. I feel like I'm at a point in my spiritual journey that I could really guide. I think that's a part of my purpose in life. Actually, I know that's a part of my purpose in life. And I take this very serious. Sorry. I'm driving, so bear with me. But the message is clear. Don't go on a spiritual journey if you're not ready to let go of certain things. Certain things that really, at the end of the day, doesn't matter. So that's it for today's video. I hope you got something out of it. I am going to enjoy the rest of my day. Until next time.